Thanks for your terrific support for my ABC documentary last night, Your ABC Exposed. It rated #1 here on Sky and regionally, and the #1 show on Foxtel for the night. And there's plenty more opportunities to see it. It's replayed at 9 o'clock on Friday night. It's also available on demand and via Flash and all the rest of it. A lot of work went into the program, so thanks so much to the crew who put it together, especially producer Alex Garipoli. And also thanks to Paul Murray for giving up his precious hour last night. Paul Murray Live will be back at 8 o'clock tonight. Look, the thing about the documentary is accountability. If the ABC is required under law to be unbiased, to be impartial and objective, and if it's also charged with reflecting the cultural diversity of the country, well then who's going to do something about it when it clearly fails to do these things? The board? The management, the government, they're all either in denial or washing their hands of the problem. There's still no proper response from the ABC to our criticism, but the closest you get from the Green Left media is a critique of the program in The Age by a journalist called Carl Quinn. The thesis from him was that the doco landed some punches but exposed an agenda, my agenda presumably. The funny thing is that Quinn actually seems to agree with the main points I put forward. Kenny is right to insist that the national broadcaster needs to do its best to speak to and for all Australians, he writes. The national broadcaster does need to make space for a plurality of views. Well, it doesn't. That was one of the main points demonstrated in the documentary. So The Age gets into all kinds of nitpicking. They also explore motive. This is the classic ploy of the Green Left, isn't it? The postmodern agenda. Forget facts, talk about motive, alleged motives. I prefer the facts. So when The Age says that ABC boss David Anderson replied by saying he would happily appear on Kenny's show if only he were invited, well then The Age left out the fact, relayed in the documentary, that we'd asked him repeatedly for weeks and been refused. For months, actually. And they could have added, as we revealed on Monday, we asked Anderson and the ABC again over the past few days. And even though he promised he would be available, you saw that in the documentary, he's back to saying no. Quinn in The Age also seems to excuse some of the ABC's erroneous vigilante journalism. He wrote that, and with regard to Porter and Tudge, the idea that claims of a culture of sexual harassment in Canberra were not worth investigating is laughable. Now, the idea that anyone has suggested this is, in fact, laughable. Investigate and report all you like. That's your job. But the ABC has unfairly maligned both Tudge and especially Porter, destroying his career with deceptive and misleading journalism designed to make them out as guilty parties by airing some allegations but keeping the facts that undermine or at least create serious doubts about those allegations, keeping those facts out of their stories, misleading the public. It's inexcusable. The facts are available to anyone who's prepared to do the work on these issues. And neither The Age nor any other media organisation ought to be making excuses for this kind of vigilante journalism, especially being conducted on taxpayers' coin.